Lust has taken away things from me that I will never be able to get back. And that is no joke. Lust is not harmless. But I want to talk to you about how not willpower alone, but having God by your side will significantly help you from avoiding lust. Now, if you're familiar with the Bible, you know the story about Samson. So Samson was a Nazarite and he had God-given strength and he was able to destroy lions and bears and whatnot. Now, his natural enemy was the Philistines. However, he fell lustfully for a Philistine woman, right? And what happened is he ended up confessing to her about what his weakness was, and that was cutting his hair, right? And so she used that, and the Philistines ended up cutting his hair and they gouged out his eyes and they threw him in prison. Now, Samson prayed to God, prayed repeatedly, right, to get back his strength. And he did. He got it back temporarily and he was able to destroy the temple that he was in with all the Philistines. So he killed a lot of the Philistines and, well, he also died as well. And the point is, even though that he gave in to lust and God forgave him, God still, he needed to face repercussions, and ultimately Samson died. And the point I'm trying to make is, if Samson did not give in so lustfully to this woman, then he probably would not have found himself in that situation in the first place. And the thing is, a lot of men have amazing strength. We are strong, you understand? We were chosen. But even the ones chosen could face temptation like this. And it's up to you to make a decision to do the right thing and not give in. Now, a quick story about me about what happened. So, I was on Instagram one day and I was texting this girl and we would talk on the phone for hours at night. And she told me she was living in this particular place, right? We used to call it town, right? And this was the capital, so no problem, right? And I went to pick her up and we had an amazing night. We did some stuff, whatever. And time to drop her home, I didn't realize that next to the capital there was the hood, right? We call it Laventille, right? And she was from there and she didn't tell me that. And I basically had to drop her home there. And I didn't realize I would have found myself in such a dangerous situation where I was literally at risk because I'm not from there. And anyone could immediately tell that I'm not from there. And I could have found myself in negative situations. And later on, this girl would claim that she was pregnant for me, which she definitely wasn't, right? And I found myself in more problems later on, right? And the point I'm trying to make is, if I didn't think lustfully, because there was no deep connection, there was no love, there was no chasing God, there was just me trying to, finish, you understand? And that could have led to detrimental problems. And the thing is, you didn't find yourself in a problem like that yet, but it is possible. I just happen to be lucky. Now, for what reason am I saying this? Okay, I talk about Christianity. Let me talk about the Quran, Islam, right? Because a lot of individuals, if they say, well, okay, I'm not Christian, so why do I need to listen to that story about Samson? Okay, but almost every religious denomination talks about lust and avoiding it, right? So don't you think you should listen? I mean, your ancestors have been listening for years. So let me tell you, in the Quran, in Islam, there's something called qadr. Qadr is something like predestination. It's about what is destined for you. Now, the thing with lust is that when you give in to sin and doing the wrong things, what happen is God will inevitably delay the things that is meant for you. For example, think about the most beautiful, amazing woman that you want in life, right? Everything you want. And that is your wife, right? Because you're obviously going to want to go with somebody you are attracted to. That is your wife. Number one, you meeting her will be delayed by giving in to lust repeatedly, right? You need to change that. Or, according to this in Qadr, you could not meet her at all. You will never be able to meet the person destined for you because of the lifestyle you are leading. And if that doesn't scare you, then I don't know what will, because to me, when I heard about it, I was like, wow, I really need to stop going around with people I'm not even attracted to just to, give in. Another thing that happens, you take back a lot of your time, effort, and money. I remember from the age of like 12 up until recently 24, which is wow, that's 12 years. For 12 years, there would be certain periods of time where I would spend countless hours just talking on the phone to a girl, multiple girls over the years, having meaningless conversations about nothingness. And a part of it is ego and self-esteem and pride and just trying to show that, yo, I'm a great guy, or just feeling lonely and wanting to have company. And a lot of those time, if I spend those time probably reading books or going to the gym or just trying to become a better man, because really and truly, none of those women are here in my life today. And none of them are my wife. Some of them I weren't even remotely attracted to, but they had a nice body. And as a result, because I couldn't help myself, I just decided to keep them as company. And I just wanna bring something clear. You ever had post-nut clarity? That the way you feel about a woman after you finish is like, wow, what am I doing? Yeah, it's like if you had that clarity all the time, you would not have been in that situation in the first place, and you would only be chasing the person you're attracted to, which is your wife. You understand? So why waste all that time? Like, you could spend that time becoming so much better and attract the person you love so much faster. But you are wasting a lot of time by giving in to this. You need to stop. This is your sign to change. Alright? If it was mentioned in almost every major religion or denomination, then it is there for a reason. Nobody just decided to put that there because they don't want you to experience the amazing, desires of this world. It is there for a reason. Do not give in. Now, before I give the solutions from my end, I just want to talk about some more of the negative effects. So let me tell you, right? Pornography. I remember there was a time where I was probably masturbating once a day for probably like 2 weeks. And at some point I needed to go out with friends. And when I went out, there were beautiful women, but my penis felt so shriveled and it felt so small because I've used up so much energy, and I felt no testosterone or masculine energy in my body, that when these women looked at me, I felt so anxious and I could not interact with them. And everyone knows that I'm a social butterfly. I love to speak, I love to interact. I could not do it. I felt so insecure with myself. Another thing is, giving into pornography all the time, you become so attached to women. Like, you look at their bodies and you praise it and you're like, wow, that's so amazing. You understand? And the thing is, staying away from lust detaches you from that. You see a beautiful woman, you don't need validation from her, because you don't need every single woman to like you. You just need one. You understand? And what that does is that because you are detached, you're not nervous anymore. It makes you not anxious anymore. You don't need validation from these women, no matter how beautiful or amazing, because they're always gonna be a way more beautiful woman. You don't need to put on a front in front of them. You understand? You could operate normally. And the thing with that is, somehow they end up gravitating more towards you. And I don't want you to be in a situation where the woman that you genuinely love, that you are attracted to, that she is repulsed by your presence because of the aura that you give off, because you are lustful, and all the qualities that you could have embodied by avoiding lust, that she would have genuinely been attracted to. You don't emanate it, and she will never be yours. Now, for the solution, there are two things that help me. Number one, setting a date. Alright, set a date. There's an app I use, it's called I Am Sober. I'll link it in the description. Right, this app has helped me track the time. Now, what it does is it physically shows you your progress day by day, and you don't want to break that streak. Because if you just go off without remembering, you would think, wow, I've never masturbated or given or do things for a long time. You understand? And you think that you deserve to give in, but this streak, it generally helps you track everything, and it builds something for you that you are proud of, that you could show that, okay, I've spent this long amount of time not giving in. And the second thing is finding God. Now, why do I say that, right? Because everyone thinks there's this magical power that comes down, that God speaks to you. No, it's not that. When you chase God and you find God, you find like-minded individuals who are just like you, who are able to help you in this journey. Now, what it led for me was that I found men who were chasing God, men in church or men in Islam, who were all chasing the same thing, just to be stronger, to be better, and part of that is avoiding lust. And these like-minded individuals who I thought they were pretty cool, pretty strong, pretty competent, big buff men with tattoos and whatnot. When I saw that they were avoiding lust for like 10 plus years, and they were just staying focused on their goals, that was enough for me to understand that there are some loser men who are jerking off every day or trying to chase a lot of women who are not making it in life. You understand? And for me, that helped me significantly. So I would say set a date for yourself and start avoiding temptation. And two, find a community of men who will be able to help you. Actually, one of the guys from the group, they actually showed me the app that I'm using now to show that both are in tandem and they do help. I hope this helps you.